Sermon for 22nd Sunday of the year 2025. Dominic Barberi was born to a poor family of Italian farmers in 1792. His parents died in early childhood and he was brought up by his maternal uncle. As a boy, he was employed to take care of the sheep. An elderly priest taught him to read, although he read all the books he could obtain. He had no regular education. Dominic Barberi was received into the Congregation of the Passion in 1814 and was ordained a priest in 1818. After ordination, he remained in Italy in a number of capacities, always mindful of his hopes to travel and preach in England. His health, however, was not good. He came to England in October 1841, where he was greeted with stares and suspicion, not only as a Catholic priest, but for the strange garb of the Passionist habit. He did not have an easy start to his time in England. Local Catholics feared that the arrival of Barberi and his fellow Passionists would cause renewed persecutions. He was met with ridicule, and his attempts to read prayers in English were met with the laughter of his congregation. However, as the people of the area got to know him, they became enamoured of him and soon began to receive a steady stream of converts. In a neighbouring town, there was opposition to him, and local youths would often throw stones at him. And local Protestant ministers often held anti-Catholic lectures and sermons to ward people away from Barberi. But in June 1844, the first Corpus Christi procession was held in the British Isles, an event which attracted thousands of Catholics and Protestants. His reputation grew as he travelled to places such as Manchester, Liverpool and Birmingham to preach his missions. In October 1845, Dominic visited Littlemore in Oxford and met John Henry Newman, who made his confession to him. Newman had written how Dominic arrived soaked from the rain, would dry himself by the fire, when he, Newman, knelt and asked to be received into the Catholic Church. His workload inevitably took its toll on his health, and from 1847 he insisted that his life had nearly run its course. He had preached numerous retreats both alone and with another in England and Ireland. And in 1849, while travelling from London to Woodchester, he suffered a heart attack, which was to claim his life. At that time in London, cholera was prevalent, and no hotels would take him in, so he decided to take him back to Reading. The train arrived an hour later, while he remained in great agony, but at peace, with "Thy will be done" ever on his lips. He died aged 57, and was buried at St Anne's Church in St Helens. Dominic Barberi was beatified by Pope Paul VI in 1963. He is best remembered for his part in St John Henry Newman's conversion, but is also commemorated for his work in the efforts to return England to the Catholic faith in the 19th century. It must be remembered that Catholics in England have been subject to penal laws for a long time. It was only in 1766 that penal law started to be dismantled. The most significant measure was the Roman Catholic Relief Act in 1829, which removed the most substantial restrictions on Roman Catholicism in the United Kingdom.